Most people agree that when a person enters the working world, their ethical and value systems will be well established. It is also the case, however, that individuals sometimes behave in ways that are contrary to their belief systems, and/or their belief systems may change when exposed to external influences. Let's take a look at workgroup ethical decision making. Social and moral maturity is constantly changing and reacting to outside influences, including family, peers, and social institutions. These external factors affect our ethical decision making even into adulthood. Some believe that individuals develop their moral identity through reinforcement and development of empathy and strengthening one's self-regulatory ability, called self-control. This self-regulation can be turned off, leading to inhumane acts through cognitive restructuring via several different mechanisms. Many of these mechanisms are most powerful in a small group setting, which is why work group influences on ethical decision-making must be examined. Let's take a look at Bandura's decision mechanisms. First is moral justification. This is an appeal to a higher or more important end to justify a wrong act, like terrorists. Like utilitarianism, the idea here is that the end justifies the means. Next is labeling. By using words that downplay the seriousness of actions, the true moral nature of such actions is ignored, like sanitizing language such as the term collateral damage for killing civilians in times of war. Next is an advantageous comparison. This is an argument that the action may be wrong, but it isn't as bad as some other actions. Then there is displacement of responsibility. This argument basically removes the individual as a free-thinking agent of his or her own actions and denies culpability. An example, I was only following orders, or I had to do it because the rules say so. Diffusion of responsibility. In this situation, the individual can redefine his or her responsibility for an action by diffusing it among several or many other people, like mob actions or the observation that everyone is doing it. Next is the disregard or distortion of the consequences. By misidentifying the consequences of one's actions, one can deny one's responsibility for harm. When the criminal says, the insurance will take care of it, or a prosecutor excuses misconduct by the belief that all defendants are guilty. Next, consider dehumanization, where humans feel the most sympathy or empathy for those who are the closest to us, and we feel the least for those who are most unlike us. Bounded ethicality refers to the cognitive structuring whereby decisions are interpreted using variables that do not include ethics. For instance, companies evaluate decisions based only on economic factors rather than whatever the situation or action calls for as moral. Ethical fading refers to the situation whereby decision makers who might have initially questioned whether an action was ethical or not, over time drop that element of the discussion and concentrate on other factors. Motivated blindness occurs when there are real and substantial pressures to ignore ethical issues. Motivational forces can also operate on the micro level within a small work group or within the whole organization. A growing body of research explores the ability to measure ethical climate of an organization. Research shows that strong ethics programs result in less pressure to perform unethical acts, less misconduct, and less retaliation against whistleblowers. Organizational leaders must not only act ethically themselves, but they also must create an environment that encourages ethical behavior from everyone. This can be done by promoting ethical workers, rewarding morality and courageous behavior, and providing clear and powerful organizational policies that emphasize worthwhile goals and honest means. Ethical leaders should do the following: create an environment that is conducive to dignified treatment on the job, increase ethical awareness among the ranks through formal and informal socialization, avoid deception and manipulation in the way officers are assigned, rewarded, or promoted, and allow openness and the free flow of unclassified information. In addition, leaders should foster a sense of shared values and incorporate such values in the subculture of the agency, demonstrate an obligation to honesty, fairness, and decency by example, and discuss the issue of corruption publicly, exposing corrupt behavior and rewarding ethical behavior. When top leaders take responsibility for their subordinates' behavior, they will lead and administer with great awareness, interaction, and responsibility.